here's the problem. For some reason, people want the Bible throughout to be an original text. Here's the dilemma we run into. Focus on this. Don't focus on your theology or your doctrine. Theology to this point in history, conventional theology has never, ever established that the people of the Bible, the Hebrew people, the Israelite people, were ever.
I was told to write this rhyme for all of mankind, to lead the dumb and blind to a place that is absent of time. God said I know, cause he'll show me a sign. Will primitive minds be able to interpret these lines while we ignoring the results of global warming? There's not a cloud in the sky, so watch it start storming. Energy and mass are shown in Einstein's equation. If you learn to manipulate it, then you could teach the nations. I quarantine myself in a dark manhole and write a verse in digital code and wait for it to explode. I visualize a spinning disc in the dark sky. The shortest distance in a circle is a straight line. Scientists can't mimic the start of man's genesis, the beginning and ending of scientific synthesis. Gravity is the cause for all men to grow old. Tragedy is the reason for me to write this flow. Can you explain the steps of the evolution of man written in 100 bars? Can your mind overstand the magnetic flux, what keeps the sun stabilized? Viewing it with the naked eyes, the cause to go blind. Rappers are just parasites to the whole truth. Yesterday's events are looked at as old news. Academic scholars analyze this weird text, but its cursive writing is nothing but a mere speck. Creativity is spawned from the bowels of the brain. The main idea is to harness all the power in your frame. It's a shame one can explain the feeling of pain left in the days and to output it in a phrase. Half my conscious contains all the 7 chakras that my mind utilizes for the writing process. The price of glory will be paid for by your own soul. Scrolls wrote long ago were found on a dirt road. The rhyme is the only thing that keeps me civilized. Solar rays on this planet keeps me energized. You want to rate this performance, but the dialogue is too enormous. I know creativity that the rhyme is gorgeous. I built a database so I could conceal my poems, but you can't log on without the right access codes. Impossible isn't a fact, it's an opinion. Your opinion doesn't count if your mind is primitive. Simple carvings on cave walls by the Neanderthals. You can tell their brains were small from the size of their skulls. I write about many topics when I get bored, describing the next world war on this lifeless ball. This verse will distort the space-time continuum. Syntax mistakes are prevented or kept to a minimum. A master craftsman who can mold and shape space. Then the timeline is interrupted at his own pace. Then he etches his face in the center of his rhyme. It's a lavish spectacle with the pen and pad combined. Distance is measured with the keen eye and sharp mind. Length times width gives a total to all sides. The jewels are beautiful when it's seen by the third eye. The snow accumulates fast from the winter sky. A trail is left behind from the heaviest of footprints. Walking a narrow path which appears to be crooked. A rare mortal standing next to a group of immortals looking through a dark portal. Some say that might be abnormal, while Homo sapiens be experiencing sadness. I was unaware that the madness could lead me to a place of blackness. Some say that the pen is mightier than the sword. The sword is used to kill, but the pen explains the war. A favorable weapon if it's used skillfully. The use of invisible ink will leave my written a mystery. There's not enough ink to write down everything I know. There's enough to write down where I've been and where I must go. With every second a part of the present that goes by, which means that the past and present are somewhat intertwined. Why does the pain feel the same when it exits your frame? I simultaneously use both hemispheres of my brain. While some say it's impossible, I know it's logical. Writing an infinite rhyme is highly probable. You can't divide pi into pi 5 times, which you can increase your lines and say it counterclockwise. Subterranean creatures can't adapt to cold climates. The Ark of the Covenant's real and you won't find it. Catastrophic events were documented in Hebrew, an ancient language that was spoken by original people. I have mastered science and math and the gift of gab with sharp words to propel and propuncture lung sacs. Using every method to explain and less efforts to entertain. Balancing this equation equation will drive you insane. Your brain capacity is nowhere near mine. Well, my mind is inclined to go beyond 9 Einsteins. Where does the journey begin, or when will it end? Can the Stargate be controlled by any earthly men? The answer lies within the eye in the sky. The solution will go unsolved before man has to die. Memorizing pages of biblical texts, analyzing prophecies that haven't happened to man yet. The sun gives us light and also gives us life. It gives me a clear sight and inspires me to write. I'm the prototype kid of a real MC, the scientific explanation of genetic engineering. God told me to follow all lyrical law. Don't ignore the signs and express it with minimum flaw. I'm consumed by the truth and spit it in the mic booth. No matter what you say, you still might lose. I seek intelligent scholars that contain boundless knowledge. They say everything that's seen through the optics is logic.
Here's the problem. For some reason, people want the Bible